Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Today I talk about United States. I talk about Trump, and the reason I talk about Trump is because somewhere down the line the decision that Trump takes in United States does affect India and ordinary people of India. So we will first discuss the 10 commandments that Donald Trump gave in United States, and these 10 executive decisions that he took, how is that or could all of that affect India in some form or another? This is what our discussion is. Let's get right into the show. You see, America works exclusively for American interest. Anything that America does is to ensure that they benefit. While they talk a lot of global gyan, they give a lot of global advice, they try to be the leader of the world, they try to project themselves as somebody who is responsible for the world, or somebody who's bothered about the world. Let me tell you, most of the decisions that America has taken, has taken for their own benefit. Even if it is at the cost of some other country, even if it is at the cost of some other people. They have taken all decisions, most decisions rather, for their own benefit. This is the first point I want to make. Now, with this as a backdrop, let us try and see what were the 10 major executive decisions that the new president Donald Trump took for America when he took over. The first was the Deportation Crackdown. Trump declared a national emergency at the southern border, invoking emergency power to deploy armed force, including the National Guard, to address what he labeled as invasion of immigrants. So, in the southern border, he has put guards, armed guards. Illegal immigration? Nobody wants. Trump, of course, is more rigid about it. Trump, of course, has no soft pedaling on this particular issue. Trump is about his interest, and like I told you, Trump, he says that if you illegally immigrate to United States, if need be, we will shoot you. That is why the armed guards. So that is the first decision he took. Armed guards and national emergency in the southern borders. Now this doesn't end there. Trump is looking at a big time deportation drive. Deportation drive would ensure that people who are illegal immigrants, or people whose paperwork is not complete, or who is overstaying their stay, who is overstaying their visa, these people would be deported back to their particular country. This definitely will see a lot of Indian names in it too. It will see a lot of Indian names in it too. Now, very interestingly, Trump has invited Mr. Narendra Modi to United States in February. February mein Modi is going to United States, but Trump, in all his statements also said that, we are going to discuss the deportation problem or the illegal immigration problem with India, which technically means that he has set the tone. He has set the agenda to tell Indians ke baba, तुम्हारा जो illegal immigrants वगैरह है ना, उसको सबको हम वापस भेज रहे हैं. People who are overstaying their visa and all these people are going to come back. So you better ensure that you take them back. Of course, India went on to say that if they're illegal, we will take it. Why only from America? From anywhere in the world. So all that is fine, but the fact remains that he is creating grounds to say that immigration to America is not going to be easy now. Illegal immigrants, people who have overstayed their visa, will be back. This is point number one. Second, I found it very strange. A country that calls itself the land of the free, the country that takes pride in being liberal, this country and their president says that there are clearly two genders. Trump signed an order that declares that US will only officially recognize two sexes, male and female. There is no third sex in United States anymore. So it has to be either male or female. So transgenders, he is very clear that he does not, or United States of America does not recognize transgenders, either male or female. So if you are a transgender, then possibly you will have to identify yourself with either a male or a female, regardless of what you feel, what your biological status is, and what your emotional status is, what your mental, that is not their problem. They are saying, Baba, if you are an American, you are either a male or a female. So that is the second major executive order he passed. The third order that he passed is he withdraws from the World Health Organization. Trump also included a move to withdraw from the World Health Organization, cutting off significant US funding to this global health body. Now let's talk a little on this. You see, America is a very rich country. America is actually the global leader. There is no question about it. बहुत पैसे हैं उनके पास. So what happens is a lot of action, lot of activity that the American does. It helps them, but in the process of helping them, it also helps others, because you see, when water overflows, it also helps the neighboring land to flourish. Likewise, America is flooded with money. America does a lot of things for their people, lot of good things for their people, and also in the process, it also helps other countries, it also helps the world. One of the reasons why America actually withdrew from WHO is because America said that no, WHO doesn't know how to handle a pandemic. They were very upset with the way WHO handled COVID. They said, Baba, everything has been done by China. क्या किया तुमने उधर? COVID started from China. No, what have you done? So they were absolutely upset. They were absolutely unhappy with the way WHO handled COVID in 2020. So that was one of the reasons why the executive decision of Trump said that I am not interested. नहीं करने का है. I don't want to be part of WHO. अच्छा, दूसरी बात, and how it is going to affect us. Like I told you, most of the story that I'm going to talk about, most of the executive decisions that I'm going to talk about, I'm also going to tell you how it affected us. Now, the way it affected us, or way it's going to affect us is, you see, America is the largest funder to WHO, World Health Organization. A lot of research, a lot of activities that the World Health Organization does is with the money of United States of America. United States of America says, "Arey, theek hai, you are asking me for money." A country like China, which has got 300% more population than the United States of America, pays 90% lesser than what United States of America contributes to WHO. Arey, ye kya scene hai? What logic is this? So United States of America said, nahi karne ka hai. I am not going to participate in WHO. This is the status. Now, is this going to have impact on India? Of course it is going to have impact on India. Is this going to have impact on the globe? Of course it is going to have impact on the globe. Like I said, they are the largest contributors. So that was his decision number 3. Decision number 4 is pardon 1,500 people from January 6th. January 6th rioters are those people who had rioted. If you remember Capitol Hill riots, when they were rioting because they thought that Trump was illegally moved out in 2021. That is 6 January 2021. Those rioters, I'm sure I can show you some footage. You know, those rioters, they are pardoned. So now they are safe. There is no problem whatsoever. 1,500 people, they've been pardoned. The fifth is declassification of historic documents. John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, Martin King Luther Jr., their assassination documents related to their assassination will be declassified. So that's point number 5. Point number 6 is this is important. Ending birthright citizenship, which means that seeking to prevent children born to non-citizen or temporary residents from automatically gaining US citizenship. Now this is the problem. The point is, supposing one person who is a temporary citizen of United States gets married to another person who is a temporary citizen of United States, or two people who come from, say, India and go to United States and they are married couple, so they stay in United States and they have a child in United States, that child will not be given that child will not be given a natural citizenship of United States. No, that is not going to happen from now on. This was the executive order that Donald Trump passed. But that executive order has been struck down by the Supreme Court. But the fact remains that I am sure Donald Trump will try again to ensure that this law is executed. Which means that somewhere down the line, if a person moves to United States with an H-1B visa and his wife is also there in an H-1B visa, and the fact remains that they have a child in United States and they still have H-1B visa, but the child will have to go and get a resident visa in United States, that child will not be a natural citizen of that country. And if his parents are thrown out of that country, that's it. Even after 10 years, when the child may be 12 years old, if the parents are thrown out of the country because their H-1B visa expires and they're not been given a green card or they don't get a valid citizenship, that's it. The child will have to leave the country with the parents. These are definite steps to ensure that there is curb on immigration. Is this going to affect India? Of course it is going to affect India. If this rule is put into practice, which of course, like I told you, the Supreme Court has struck it down. But if this rule is put into practice, it is going to affect a lot of Indians, because a lot of Indians are working there with an H-1B visa, and a lot of Indians who are hoping to stay there and who are hoping to, make America their home. And of course, while they are very patriotic to India and they have very great idea about Indian leadership and Indian political situation and all that, and they are there for every event, all that happens, but end of the day, they want to stay in America. They don't want to leave America. They want to stay there and they want to ensure that their children stay there and they want to ensure that their children are a natural citizen. All these people will have a problem. Because unless and until they become natural citizens, their children will not be given natural citizenship. So this is the point number 6. Point number 7 is remain in Mexico policy. Remain in Mexico policy. ये resettlement ना अपना Trump सेट नहीं होएगा, वो सब नहीं होएगा. There is no resettlement and all in United States. You are in Mexico, remain in Mexico. Don't come to United States. We are not going to be lenient. We are not going to do any kind of resettlement for you, which means the suspension of asylum processing. ये asylum seeking crowd जो है ना, who comes from Mexico more so, that is what Trump believes. These asylum seekers don't come. Remain in Mexico. This is what the remain in Mexico policy is. Obviously, this will not affect much. India will not be affected much with this, but theek hai, that was his policy. Rollback on Biden climate policy. Trump invoked emergency power to bolster US energy production, rolling back the Biden era climate policies. His orders aim to increase domestic oil production, including offshore drilling and exploration in Alaska. He said, Bhaiya dekho, I am Trump. I am a capitalist. I was a businessman. Ye environment ka jo policy tha na, which Biden said, keep it aside. Oil mangta hai, drill karo. Power mangta hai, create karo. No problem.
The inflation crisis was caused by massive overspending and escalating energy prices, and That is why today I will also declare a national energy emergency. We will drill, baby, drill.
This is how simply it is put. End of the day, the idea is let us make money. We are a capitalist state. Let us remain capitalist. If creating electricity, drilling oil helps the country, do it. Do it. Climate and all, what Biden signed, we'll keep that on hold at the moment. What we need today, we have to get today. This is the order number 8. Order number 9 is termination of federal diversity, equity and inclusion programs. You see, the 9th executive decision, very important and quite controversial. It is the termination of DEI. DEI means diversity, equity and inclusive policy. I'll tell you what diversity, equity, inclusive policy was. Diversity, equity and inclusive policies are organizational framework which seeks to promote fair treatment and full participation of all people, particularly groups who have historically been unrepresented or subject to discrimination on the basis of their identity or disability. It is like a representation. It is like a reservation. Opportunities given to people who has been kind of left behind, discriminated against because of their identity, because of their disability and so on and so forth. So primarily DEI policy is an all-inclusive policy. Give everybody an opportunity policy. That was DEI policy which Trump said nahi mangta hai. He said nahi mangta hai. Why did he say nahi mangta hai? Because he said that his order mandates that all DEI and diversity, equity, inclusion and accessibility positions, program and mandates be eliminated with a focus on individual merit in federal employment practices. He says that there is no inclusion and all that. If you have the merit, if you are good, come, work. If you are not good, sorry, sad. If you are discriminated, if you are disabled, sad. You work on merit. There is no inclusion and all that. He said, I am not going to waste government money on that. So this has become a huge controversy. A lot of people say barabar hai. A lot of people say barabar hai because why inclusion and all that? Why waste our tax money on including people who are discriminated and disabled and all that? Only people who have got merit, people who are fit should be working. Why waste government money? Correct. A lot of people say, what are you talking about? A discriminated person, a disabled person is part of our society. They are part of the American society. How can you discriminate? How can they not be included? The American dream, the so-called development, the so-called opportunity to grow should be given to all, regardless of their caste, creed, disability, color. They should be given to all. So this is the controversy. Now here I want you to write down in your comment, in the comment box, as to what you feel. Do you feel what Trump's decision, what he took, is correct or not? And the last is America First. That is his 10th decision, the last decision. Donald Trump signed an executive order directing the State Department that US foreign policy shall champion core American interest and prioritize America and its citizens above everything else. Now, this is something that they were always like this. America was always America first. America was always America first because America had three interests in mind: their interest, and their interest. That's it. That's it. America had just American interest in mind before, now, and in the future also it will be like that. So I don't know what is new about this, but okay, this was his 10th executive policy. Now, just to conclude, like I said, few of them affects India directly, few of them do not affect us directly. But somewhere down the line, I see a pattern. I see a pattern in the decisions that are being taken by the Trump government and a lot of other government, including ours, in our country. I see a pattern. Rigidity, aggression, force seems to be the order of the day. It seems to be the worldview now. Compassion, understanding, tolerance has vanished from this earth to a very large extent. This is what I would very loosely conclude my editorial with. Till I see you next time, that's tomorrow at 10. Namaskar.
Stay ahead with our cutting edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.